I set this black backdrop up, and I opened the camera up, and then I just took a strobe and I had them walk, and I went bang, 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 bang.
And this is just the girl walking and not knowing when it's going to be bang, bang.
Right.
She's just walking, and that's
And I just randomly fired it while she was walking. I have I shouldn't tell you this, because it just gets you thinking again, but I have a man building a piece of equipment for me back in Florida where I can sound sync it to music, where I can have them walking around at a particular pace. And then I can do that again at the end, so it's the same.
That would be good.
And it will automatically fire the strobe.
That would be good.
It's out the old pocket kind of thing again.
Well, now, listen. You know, as I said to you the other day, the HEW is asking us what we want to do, what we want money for. They've got it. If you can set that thing up and say, this is what I'd like to do.
Right.
I'd like to get this done very much more
Budget that in.
methodically and
Straight up.
mechanically. Well, I'm not feeling we can get money. That's the kind of thing we can get money for.
Well, I'm going back to Florida and work it out. I tried doing it before I left, but remember I told you we couldn't get the strobe back there. So we had to depend on renting one, and we had no way of shooting tests. So it's amazing we have pictures. It's really luck.
Well, try it. And if you need more stuff, for heaven's sake, use your telephone and tell me what you need. If you need it bad enough, I'll try to get up courage to go and ask some of these boys that have some money if they don't want to donate it.
Well, I didn't know what we needed, which was the problem. I wasn't sure what it would take, and we were running out of time on the way
Straight
up.
up, Josh.
So I'm pleased. We have to do a lot of darkroom work yet to bring them out and enhance them, but it looks pretty good. Bobby, you want to glance?
Very good.
Yeah.
You can see.
Ooh, that is wonderful.
Isn't that neat?
And wait until you see what they look like when they after 10. That will be wonderful.
Ron,
You got the shutter speed down now? Well, it was with the camera.
what I was going to say was, if and when we publish that, it would be very good to publish it white on black as you have it there, and not try to change it.
We can't do anything else other than that. can we?
No, what I mean by changing it is I can, in the dark room, sometimes I can bring it out lighter, a little bit darker with the exposure.
Yeah, all right, but I'm just explaining that I think that those pictures shouldn't be monkeyed with too much.
Oh, no,
to make
no.
them
we
more
won't.
acceptable or anything of that sort. Leave them that way, leave them laboratory fresh, so to speak.
Yes, we'll be doing that. We won't touch up any of the people, but
Straight up.
all this is they just lay the negatives down on a piece of film and expose it, so there's no way of altering the exposure on each picture.
All right, but I'm just expressing my convictions in the matter, because usually you do a certain amount of changing before you're going to publish the picture. Now, the other thing I would suggest is that as you look at and you study those pictures, you take pieces of paper and make your comment on that piece of paper and fasten it to the picture.
Yeah, this is going to take a lot of time.
I can't help it.
Well, that's what we'll have to do, obviously. It'll take a lot of care sitting down and sorting them out.
Agreed.
Editing.
But after all is said and done, that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Right.
If
Straight
we're
up,
going to
Josh.
go on to try to get acceptance for what we're doing. Now, the best way to get acceptance for what we're doing is to get the Nobel Prize. And I can't tell, maybe that would contribute to it. After we had that, we'd be thoroughly respectable, and nobody could sneer at us.
I don't know. Something tells me they might sneer at Bob.
Well, that's just Bob. So long as they're not snaring at that guy Thompson that took those pictures, it's all right.
You've got a picture of Josh here. See you doing your thing. This is the whole series of you.
We sell those for
I know.
Ronnie, if
I'll
you
put 'em
publish
upstairs.
that in a book, would you publish it as that size or would you double it in size?
Oh, we make them much larger. Well, I added a lot of it out. What I'll do is look for key things that show change. You know, well, I don't know what we'll find.
You're gonna put the booklet together?
I guess I'll have to.
Put the what together?
Booklet.
What booklet?
This booklet that you're talking about.
This booklet is going to be 5 books before it's through.
We're gonna have one out soon. A rough one.
This?
I'll talk to you.
Why don't you come down to Florida?
I might.
Bring your eyes.
I might.
What's he saying?
Come down to Florida, bring my eyes. Well, I think I'm going to the other leg, whether you like it or not.
You just jolly well stay right here and get this place going up for it.
No, I'm just going to the other leg. That's
You can go to the other leg, but don't go to the other coast.
that's this.
There are many people on the other coast now.
That's this guy's leg. Well, I think that I want you to stand up and walk around for that, Josh. See how that feels.
You see that his knee seems to be further down. Therefore, his legs don't look as long. Do you
Yes.
see what I'm
Yes,
talking
I do.
about? Well, now where's Ronnie? He should have a picture of it.
I'll get it. Hey, Ron. Ron. Hurry.
How does it feel, Josh?
What do you notice about that? Anything?
You see, Ron, what you, is that Ron?
Yes.
Yes.
What you should be demonstrating with your camera here is the way you change those very long adolescent legs into mature legs is by the sort of process where that he has just induced, namely changing the apparent place of the knee. And observe how the knee now seems further down than it did before.
Feels shorter my whole leg.
The leg
Yeah, the
feels
other one.
shorter.
No, this one it did feel shorter. I think.
Uh-huh. Well, does it feel shorter, or do you feel like you're limping?
No, it feels shorter.
Okay.
Stand or sit?
That's strange. I've been walking a lot of people who, when they finish,
It's
feel shorter.
longer.
Huh?
It's usually longer.
I know.
You get the shorter one shorter.
Yes.
Well, are you going to get that picture or no?
Yes, you want to do him sitting? You want to do him standing first?
I do it standing first.
Okay. Would you hold my prop up for me?
Yeah, there's-
I don't know.
Because it seems to me that this is a very important sequence you've got here, Ron.
Hey, Carol. Carol.
What is it you want?
I had that piece of material we want to use for a backdrop.
Oh, it can't be very far away.
Did I? Okay. So where's the police? Thank you.
Feels shorter and more solid.
Shorter and more solid.
Good. It looks shorter and more solid.
That's interesting because I've had some people get up in the last day or so and tell me they feel shorter, and of course I think I've done something wrong. Because
So they've gotten broader.
Yes.
Why
might still be hitting that.
Now, Ron, is that Ron that just came in?
Carol.
No, it's Carol, but Ron's coming. I just brought the cloth.
Okay.
Here he is.
Ron, take a look there as Josh bends over. Sit square on, yeah, that's right, with your feet well on the floor. Now bend over and observe let your head drop. Observe what's going on his back and where it's going on. And see what the change of the one leg has done to the one side of his back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm talking about?
Sure has.
Okay, then go ahead and get the picture of it, if you can.
That?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just, there you go.
It looks like it has, one side looks like it has more organization to it. Very interesting.
Comrades.
The peasants will be pleased when we publish.
Sorry. Something's not doing on the camera. Let's see, we're going to make another trip to the camera store in the morning.
You know what we should do is to give these demos and classes in the back of the camera store.
I'm thinking the Rolf Institute should just buy a camera store and we...
Not a bad idea. You might even make some money from it, too.
Well,
You feel any difference in your arm from the work that's been done?
okay.
Somebody's taken my name, I trust not in vain.
She's offering you as a very big opportunity.
Like what?
I don't know.
Seeing somebody who needs to be
Let's do one more. Josh, thank you.
You want to open that face like that?
Josh, let your arms hang out of work so your spine supports you. I don't know why it is, but every time I look at that camera, I always look into the strobe and you always shoot it. And I
See those funny little marks after
Is
that?
that what you need, Jeff?
Yes. Do you want standing?
Let's see, I have to get this forward, so why don't you stand here with Josh?
Put that on the floor. But we're going to hold it up and back.
Yeah, well, he's going to stand on it also. You can stand right there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we'll take one side.
I need straightened, but that's looking pretty good.
You want to give him a little bit more behind, or forward, rather.
On the floor, right? Or do you want him forward, closer to you?
No, get him here and Ron can move.
Yes.
Okay.
Notice how one foot has come forward.
Wow, you have one nice looking leg there.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? It's one nice little leg.
Can you feel how that left leg of yours is under you, Josh?
Yeah, that's. I think that's what I
without
mean.
without changing anything. No, don't change anything. Just look down at your feet.
Mhm.
What do you notice?
This one's going out. This
Yeah.
one's pretty straight. This one's more forward.
If you had an automobile, and one wheel went this way and one wheel went that way, what do you think is going to happen?
I know, I read that in the book.
Wear out the tires.
That'll teach you to publish.
What are we gonna do? Is that a leg?
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea.
I think so.
Either that or teach them to play hopscotch.
Those cooks in your kitchen, they always get that nice smell.
You might as well just forget it. It's going to be like that for the rest of your life.
That I doubt.
We're just going to keep you here forever. You wait till Sunday comes around and you don't have those smells floating through your house, you know. You're going to say, God, I wonder what Bob's having for supper.
Starved to death.
Take a breath, Josh. Good.
Battery packs.
What's our schedule in the morning? Does anyone know?
Bob does.
What time's the first? Yes.
I'm afraid to say anymore.
10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay. We start at 10 o'clock tomorrow?
10:30.
Well, is it 10 or 10:30?
It's 10:30. We have 2 babies.
How many babies have we in all? 3, eh?
3.
Ronnie, what kind of pictures are you getting of those babies, honey?
Good one.
Yes, quite a few.
Well, I know. It's easy to snap a picture. I'm asking whether the snapshot's any good.
I don't know. I just got them, 30 minutes ago, and you got me taking more pictures. I haven't had a chance to look at them any more than you did. You have to sit down and take notes on them. Get through each one of them, see what patterns we can find, and then write down notes. Try to duplicate it at the end or in the middle. So we'll have some comparisons of what shows up with our eyes.
Write notes on their envelopes.
Look, notes could be too long.
Well, yeah, we'll get all of us to sit down and put your eyes on those proof sheets and see what catches it.
All those things they call binders.
just let your foot come up, Josh.
Batteries are cool though.
And down.
Well, they will if you keep firing it fast. It's supposed to crank out more than 80 shots in a row without at least 20 minutes cooling. I mean, it was sizzling the other day. I ran 5 rolls of film through it, 36 in each roll. About $25 battery pack. That's considered a pack. It's a brand new strobe, so it shouldn't be a problem with it. I just bought it about 2 months ago. It's about $125. Yeah, it's nothing. It's just a clip to.
Foot's really everted. Pretty bad. His foot's pretty twisted to the outside. See? Can't see? It's almost turned around like that.
Fix it. You want to keep him out.
You're cutting off. Who's else is?
That was the one fear I had, was that in this class is that it was going to come up
You're all right. You
that something was there and what you were going to say is fix it.
know that?
I was going to scratch my head for an hour. And straight up, Josh. Good. Now let your toes come down. Let your foot come up some more.
You shake you.
It's been about 5 years diving now. We were both underwater for 2 hours. His favorite games was to swim in the water. We get down in these caves diving, black and white. Listen to this like. Kick your man's.
Straight up. Straight up. God, it's amazing how we could even walk on a leg like this, you know?
I know.
Straight up. Yeah. Keep going up with your toes down, Josh. Hmm? No. Never?
Cutting off.
I don't think. I might have fallen off sometime. I heard it.
This is more than just an injury. See, it's like,
But I always wear toe clips, so I don't see how it could be. Maybe that is how I got twisted.
maybe what?
Maybe that's how I got twisted.
How's that?
In toe clips.
Toe clips?
You know, and cycling shoes keep my foot in the same position.
He's a cycler.
Whether,
Did
you
you
know,
wear a cast?
No, he's a cycler.
Oh.
Bicycler, what they do
Yeah,
is
I
they,
understand. He's right,
that'll do it, wouldn't it?
will do it.
Do you understand what we're talking about with your foot?
what?
Is that this is the way your foot is,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the way it ought to be. and something is keeping it like that. So that's essentially how your foot is, and when you get out on the ground, it ends up forcing it like that. So that then what you end up doing is distorting the weight bearing all the way up through your body. Fixing it, so to speak. Now, let your foot come up. Straight up.
Did you say that Mary's bag is coming down here over the weekend?
Yep. And Myron Capital.
Oh, good. On the other hand, not so good. You see, they won't have the background of how we got that.
We'll let them look at the pictures.
It's better.
It does?
A little. No.
Can you see how it doesn't look so twisted out?
Feel the difference in what you're doing if Josh sits up or Josh lies down.
A world.
Explain that to him.
Do you feel that, Josh? How you're sitting up puts extra stress and strain on this area?
I don't feel it. I don't understand it.
All right, I want to get my fingers here and you just sit up and feel what's going on here. Feel how much tighter it gets?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Straight up. Good. Keep going.
Should have taken a picture of my foot.
I know. You can begin to see that it's looking more like that.
The problem now is in the knees, I think. The right knee is not.
No.
Isn't that helping that foot?
Yes, ma'am.
would you suppose that Dr. What's-His-Name, the Eye Man, would have any connections into the educational system?
Yeah. I'm sure he does. Just I don't know how much he supports Rolfing, the process of Rolfing. I think he thinks it's a neat idea. I've never had him refer anybody to me.
Well, if you know the right person, I wouldn't ask him for referrals. I'd just ask for an introduction to him.
Who do you want?
I want an introduction to somebody that's high up in the educational hierarchy.
Here in Philadelphia.
How about the superintendent of schools?
You know, I'd
Not really. He's more of an administrator rather than.
I'd like to assist you with that one, but I'll tell you what, I'd stay out of the Philadelphia school system for a number of reasons. It's incredibly political and excessively corrupt, and worse than that, tremendously inefficient. And
Doesn't look a particularly.
That's not a positive picture.
so what?
That's not a positive picture.
And it operates on a deficit.
You must have taken this. Did you ever take this? Sometimes you talk like you've taken this.
No. I try and stay away from it. And so I tried to. She wouldn't let me. I was going to not take it if I could.
How's that feel, Josh?
Still looks a little twisted.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much at all.
See, you haven't yet put starch in his spine,
I think we should do that.
which you should be able to do.
Starch?
Yes.
How do you do that?
Like on shirts, you know?
Stand up for a minute and maybe have a seat on this bench facing that way.
Wait a minute, Phil, take a little walk around before you sit down. Just so you feel now, be aware of what you feel within yourself.
One thing you probably might be able to feel, Josh, if you pay attention to it, is the fact that as you're walking now, your shoulders have dropped a little bit. They're not pulling forward as much this way as they were when you came in.
Can't tell. But my
No,
legs,
since you can't tell, but you can feel his legs.
Your legs wet.
I feel like it's going glunk. Glunk.
You notice he doesn't look nearly as long-legged as he did.
Uh-huh.
You notice that?
Yes, ma'am.
Doesn't feel even.
Where is that fellow with the camera?
Ron? You're being called on. How we gonna, do we need to worry about having that leg turned in today?
No.
I mean, they're definitely close together.
The third or fourth hour is more like it. Did you find Ron?
Yes.
Yes.
How are these, my feet supposed to go straight or a little out like that?
Straight.
Parallel.
Straight?
Well, I said before, you got a car, where do you want the wheels going? That way? Or do you want them going straight?
No, it won't right now. Ron's here. What do you want him to do? Take a picture?
Yeah, I'd like you to take that picture and you see it's perfectly obvious that those legs seem shorter, particularly the lower legs. The upper legs still seem quite long. And I would like to follow that up not merely today, but in the third and the fourth hour. When will those upper legs not seem so long?
Uh-huh.
Okay, you ready to take
Is
a
this with the
picture now?
backdrop, or are you going to take close-up pictures first?
Are you finished?
We're gonna work on his back first, afterwards.
afterward. This is just work on the legs. The second hour will work on the legs.
Okay. We'll use the backdrop, I guess.
Okay.
You notice he doesn't look near as long-legged as he is.
How common?
Oh, don't you notice that?
Yes, I do.
Now feel how your legs feel comfortable. Put your feet straight and see if that's comfortable or that's uncomfortable.
Now, find out if it's uncomfortable or unfamiliar.
Put them a little closer together and see how that feels. And let the top of your head go up. See whether your feet feel better close together when your head goes up. See whether your head can go
Just
up.
try and pay attention, Dr. Rolf, and just be with her for a minute. She'll give you the directions, okay?
Okay.
Now, the question is find out if that feels comfortable or not.
Is that the most comfortable posture?
Out.
That's better.
Yeah, down here.
That's better. What he's finding that is comfortable is better. Much better.
I want to move you over to the middle.
Yeah, what?
His
Did
legs certainly look a lot straighter to me.
they look that way to you, Dr. Rolf. They look that way to me.
Be sure you get some of that pelvis there, Ronnie, because it is the pelvis that has changed, oddly enough. Not oddly enough. I mean, this is necessary, but it's not what you'd expect. You'd expect the legs would change, but it's the pelvis that has changed.
Oh, would you hold that up a little more, Bob? There you go. Okay. I have to go upstairs for a moment.
Okay, then get to
Back.
Well, okay, Bob, what are you going to do?
Some back work, of course.
Okay,
Thank you.
How about
wait a
that?
minute. Put your towel or something on there so that you don't get that. So that you don't get the communication of the cold to you. Right.
Now, what happens is that this starts going off to the right, right in here. Just collapses right into here.
So I can feel stress right there.
Where?
Right where you process.
Right in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let your arms hang by your side. Now let your head go.
What are you finding there, Bob?
Well, what I'm finding is his spine kind of makes an S to the side. Let your head go, Josh. Let your arms hang there, so.
I wonder whether Ronnie has a picture of that back.
We do before the hour. He was,
Before this hour?
yes.
Oh, good.
with him in a sitting position,
Good,
curled over.
good.
Let your shoulders go. Good, let your head go. Now, Suki, let your head go. And it's real stringy back here. Relax, let your shoulders go. Let your
Yes. Older gentleman.
a little tight. Bigger. This is supposed to be a 9 o'clock. I blow my schedule. You ever did it?
Never. Josh, get your feet more parallel. That's it. And let your head hang out.
You notice how much further the... Well, I'm trying to get that on the lateral side of the scapula. If you can, I think you'll loosen that whole back.
Sessions here.
Your session's here?
15 minutes here.
Get Adrian to feed you. Huh? Get Adrian to feed you.
I won't have time. Maybe about 2 bites in, it'll be picture time again.
What's that you say?
About the 4th bite would be time to go to work.
Listen, I'm gonna eat later. I'll come back and eat.
All right? Great. Bill should be in pretty soon.
What's going on?
I have a Rolfing session to do this evening.
Oh, you have.
How does it feel?
something completely different.
Tight. What?
Now it feels loose.
Now it feels loose.
That's right, as soon as you brought your pelvis up, see, I put some extra length in your top. You feel that? Breathe into it and see how it feels to breathe. See, I can breathe a little lower maybe.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Now let your head go, let your arms go again.
Get your feet where they belong though, so they support you. Get off your arms. That's it.
Good, let your head go. This is where I got it. Let your head go.
See, you can let those arms fall, Josh. See how you're holding on?
So you
there?
want this again?
No, feel how you're holding on with your arms. Let them drop. Or hang out of your shoulders. Attaboy.
Now, let him just take those elbows straight in and straight out, not more than a half an inch.
Okay. I'll help you, Josh. Let your head hang. Now, as you're hanging here, let your elbows come out like this.
And you two men
Yeah,
that are
just
working on that body,
Out.
see what's happening to the body as he does that.
And then come back up right here. Now, that's it, not with your head. That's it. Now out. And just real slow. Now you do that yourself. Out and in. Let the elbows, not your shoulders. That's fine. Keep playing with that. Straight out and straight in. Good. Out and in. And breathe.
Good. And come back up, Josh.
Roll up. That's it.
Keep going all the way up.
Take some breath.
Yeah, now it feels good to have my back like this.
Down around here, there's a lot of stuff needs to be taken back. Much too far lateral.
You sure you wouldn't rather wait until the third session?
I got it.
Really going to get in there?
No. I got it.
I'm sure I'd rather get started today, and then you'll get in there on the third
Let your
session.
head go forward. Keep going. It's actually underneath the scapula.
Yes, it probably is.
I was working on the scapula. Now, and see if you can give him some help. And let your head go.
I want you to drop your shoulders and just keep this coming. And breathe and move Bob's hands with your breath. Big breath. That's it. Just let this fall.
Can't breathe deep like this.
Try. Oh boy. See a whole area up here to breathe in that you've never used. In fact, that's where most of your lung is. Those arms hang so you can move the elbows a little.
He still hasn't gotten those elbows turned properly. See, he turns the whole arm instead of getting the elbow.
Just let the, like there's a string coming out of here. That's it. No, not that you're lifting with the shoulder, just the elbow. Out. And in. Out. And in. Out. And in. Get off your arm and let your body support you.
Is that getting any better?
To me, yes. How about to you?
To me, it looks a whole lot better.
Take a breath.
Okay. Now get down to it
Like
like a
up
level in
here.
the middle.
So let your body support you. You can offer
Lower margin of the scapula.
Yeah.
See what it is that's holding there. There,
Oh, like off the
what's going
scroll
on?
off
I think it's probably a couple of ribs that are too close together.
Yeah, let
Keep
your
breathing
head
into
go.
it. Let your elbows come out. No, not here. Here, the elbow. Try to look your arm. Watch my arm. Look. Like that. That's it. In and out, real easy. Let them fall. You're moving your shoulders. Let the elbows do it. Look straight ahead.
Good.
Josh, look straight ahead. So your body is centered.
Still got some ribs down there. 10 and 11.
Feels like you're pulling my ribs out.
Just like I'm doing that, or
It feels like you're doing it.
Bring your knees closer together. And breathe it open. Find a place to let your body support itself rather than using your arms.
Bob, I'd like you to get way up under the axilla. See what's going on between the third and fourth rib. Under there. Yeah. There. What's going on?
No, it's too close in here.
Yeah.
No, let your head go. No,
Go a little further.
go a little further. Keep going. Come on. Good, now let your head go some more, let your shoulders go. And then go some more. Sit up and take a breath. Just sit. Let your head come up some more. And just let yourself come up.
It's looking more like a back, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Now stop admiring it and keep working on it.
Let your head come up. Head go up. Let your head come up.
still got it between the scapula and the elbow, the arm.
Here.
You see, he's probably been doing exercises to strengthen himself with his arms. And instead of that, he's been pulling his arms too far away from his body.
Just PE classes in school will do that.
May well be.
They have them do push-ups and
May well be.
pull
They
them
don't tell them how to do it.
Yeah,
It's just that they should do it. Not how they should
58-year-old
do it.
lung surgery.
as a consequence, they don't
2/3
enjoy it
of
either.
right lung removed.
He doesn't like PE.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the point too, you know, there's no enjoyment of movement in that discipline.
Straight city.
Yes, he's
Sahara straight city.
What's
just
going
about
on?
what you would imagine.
Huh?
We were just discussing the man I'm going to Rolf this evening.
Oh.
He's had 2/3 of his right lung removed.
What is it?
He
So we
had,
thought maybe we'd
severe
only get
bronchitis.
2/3 of a first
He had
session.
pneumonia when he was 6. And later went into pretty serious bronchitis. And
Well, you handle it carefully. Don't give him too much. Don't just go and think you're going to make him perfect.
I'm aware of that. It's really a shock on him. He's
Give him-
58 years old, too.
Give
Just-
him, well, that
That's
isn't my
not-
idea of old. But what I'm saying to you is give him maybe a half of what you would give a
Josh.
normal.
Try to keep yourself in a line with your feet and your legs like an Egyptian. And so every time you turn your head to the side, then you throw off your structures.
Have you got any, has
You're
his
trying to
doctor
clear your
recommended
space.
it?
Air all the spaces.
He read the article that was in the paper in Lancaster. And I thought maybe Rolfie could help him.
But with a history like that, it would be well to get the approval of the doctor.
But my knowledge is not under doctor's care right now. He says he feels very run down. He has no energy, and he's working. And the surgery's been quite a while ago, years ago. But he just doesn't have any stamina anymore. And it's very easy to see why.
Well, it's easy enough to see why, but it's not going to be easy to see why if something goes wrong with the guy and he just up and dies, and his family say, well, if he'd never met that Rolfer, he'd still be alive. These are the considerations that you've got to take into consideration. Your own protection and the protection of Rolfers in general. For all you know, he may have cancer. One of these days, this is going to happen to us. I hope it doesn't happen too soon, but it's going to happen. It's in the normal run of things.
It's a message for you out
Pretty
Pretty
close.
close on here all day.
Do you have his head going straight up, Bob? I
Yes.
doubt it.
Yes, ma'am.
He does truly, Dr. Rolf.
It looks
He
good.
does truly.
It
Shame on you.
doesn't feel that way to me.
Well,
Maybe it should be further, maybe the head should be further back. Maybe this is the discomfort. The head and neck should be further back.
well, I was going in the right direction, though.
Okay.
We do have something going there.
Fix your feet. Can't get supported from the floor if you don't have anything to stand on.
See, I can't see. All I can do is feel.
Yes.
This is some reason I can't see through you. Which is one
Well, I'll
thing
trust
I
your-
don't understand.
I'll trust your feelings as well.
It's okay that you're doing it right now, but further use, don't use that for sitting down on.
Okay,
It'll get more and more wrinkle.
good. I think we have to get some towels down here.
A few more props.
I'll handle that.
There are a couple of things here. We just need to get them
Organized.
organized and
Yeah.
and see them again.
Good. I think that something has to come back in here.
Something in there that isn't doing what it should do, but it doesn't have to come back today, Bob.
Yes, ma'am.
We probably haven't got enough length from below yet to bring it back. That's better. That's better. Ask him if he feels that that's
Do
better.
you feel that that's better? How's your head and neck feel right now?
Yeah, it feels more back and up.
More backing up.
Good.
How about standing up for a minute and taking a walk and see how you're doing?
Now, how about sitting down and coming up, leading up with your head? Keep your head going up. As you sit down, keep your head going up.
As you sit down, okay? Now, don't use your arms to sit down with. Use the top of your head to sit with.
Like that.
Well, almost,
That's
except
nearer.
what you did is you did this. Now,
Yeah.
see if you can't lead from right here, and just let this just lift you straight up into the air. Good.
That's better.
Do you feel
that's
how
much
much more, how much more
That's easy.
with ease you did that? Yes.
Yeah.
That's better. It's coming.
Now, how about begin to lift yourself off the bed from the top of your head?
Now, you see, your head should always be lifting you somewhat, which
What?
means that you never
What?
really sit down heavily on your
A
seat.
little twist in his abdomen.
Yeah. Say that again, Dr. Rolf, I missed that.
I say his head should always be lifting him, even when he's lying down and sleeping. His head should be lifting him in the sense of extending his spine. That means if he sits down, for instance, he never sits down heavy and soggy on the seat.
Mm-hmm.
He's always just vaguely up, vaguely up. He's still in contact with it, but always has a lift in that body.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, if you do that, your body is always alert to do whatever you want it to do. It's always alert, it's always prepared, it's always ready to go. You don't have to lift from down in the bottom of some depth that you got to, down in the depth of despair and of weariness and so forth. I grant you it's sometimes a hard job, but it's worth doing.
I don't understand how to do it though. I understand what you're saying.
What did he say?
He
Bob?
said he understands what you're saying, he just doesn't necessarily understand how to do that.
Well, get the top of your head coming up right now. Turn around so you can look at me. Yeah, you don't need to turn more. That's the sense. Turn sideways. That's right. Now let the top of your head come up.
It'll fall out tonight.
See if you can feel that upness. Or yes, that's great.
Yeah.
That's
That's
good.
good.
Did you feel how you lifted yourself from your head? You didn't push yourself up from the seat. Now lift yourself up as you go down, so that as you get down to the seat, you're not coming down hard. Yes. You feel how much lighter you are on your feet.
Yeah, a lot.
Do you realize that if you were a runner or an athlete or something, this would make a very great deal of difference to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it can make a difference to you just as a plain ordinary citizen of Pennsylvania, oddly enough. Now try to put that into your body, that lifting, that everlasting lifting. Now you see, I can get up from this like this, or I can get up from it like this, and I can keep going lifting all the whole time. And my body is a lot lighter when I do that. It's sometimes a bit on the weary side. So keep remembering that and keep trying it. And as Bob loosens more and more in your body, it becomes easier and easier to do. One of the things he has to loosen, but not today, is right in here. I think you're about done, Howard.
I think we should give him a pelvic lift.
Yeah.
Lie back down on your back.
Now, does that make a little more sense to you?
Yeah, it feels better.
Try practicing that before you come here again, and if by the time you come here again you don't feel that it is yours, complain about it and we'll go through it again.
Okay.
Now, let the top of your head, just let your knees come up. Session with the top of the
Now
head.
let the top of your head come up right now. I mean, up and lengthening your spine. That's it. You feel how and just automatically you lighten your body. That junction there is a little too close.
Yes, that's what I'm working on.
Do you want me to hold that up?
No, I want
Or
you to
just
let it
leave it
go.
down? Ah, it hurts more.
Is Ron around with his camera to
Yes,
take the picture of him sitting when you get
yes, ma'am. I think.
Yes, he'll be here in just a moment. I talked to him just a minute ago.
Did you talk to his camera?
Yes. It's smoking.
Okay.
Okay, Ron, he's all yours.
Okay.
How do you feel about that, Bob?
I don't understand that, Josh. What I feel particularly good about is
Good. That's good.
Yes,
the work on his back.
Feels real straight.
yes, it's opened up a good deal. It's got a lot more like that.
Yeah.
It's gone clear through the gluteal structure.
What I feel particularly good about is that he's no longer a long-legged adolescent. He's now becoming an individual.
That word individual is best strikes me as the description that I would use to describe what I experience right at the moment, the difference.
Mm-hmm.
That an individual, it's like both of his parts, his top and his bottom, fit together.
Mm-hmm. It's not that he is conforming to just a what's the word I want? A conventional pattern. There's a word for it.
Carol? Word for a conventional pattern.
A syndrome?
No. Well, how about Ronnie taking a picture of those legs?
Scoot you down in the end, Josh.
How do you feel, Josh? No? Can you notice how now what you're doing is that you're beginning to sit up rather than
My
sitting
back
down?
feels real straight.
Feels like it supports you.
Yeah. It feels like it's under me.
Stereotype was the word I wanted. He's no longer conforming to a stereotype. He's becoming
Okay.
an individual.
IBM makes one of those.
We'll do another one, Joe.
Oh, it's cooled off in the lights back.
Because I blew on those batteries. I told you.
You did a good job. Okay, let's take you upstairs. Click off some more.
Now you see, as he walks, you're impressed with the fact that he no longer looks like just such a long-legged being. He now looks, his legs and his torso begin to match.
What's nice is his whole upper body seems to be pulling up from the neck. It's like he's got a
That's
strength
true,
that gives him
too.
some assistance.
That's true.
Can you feel that, Josh?
Yeah, he's a little baby.
You really claim that space. I mean, it belongs to you now. You've been paying around the real estate. You might as well go into the past.
Well,
Pay
that's
rent anyway.
just the same category with what you're doing right along.
Well, it's kind of close, but it's like
I have heard people you have worked on say they have never heard about letting their head go off.
you have.
I have indeed. Which process?
This process of getting all these intelligent boys and girls to sit around just waiting for your words of wisdom. Consistently. Goodbye.
Well, I think that they listen to enough. I don't see any point in that they're listening to all because they don't understand what it's about.
Yes. A scheduled time for this woman. You want a definite time, huh?
Well, yeah.
I missed that one. Great. What can I say about that?
I think you will find that a great many people who are as solid in their position, for instance, as I, will have the same response to this.
Well, that's
The
okay. See,
difficulty that
it's
I have
okay
with
for
it-
you to have the position and still be enrolled in the project. See,
Yeah,
That's
that's
the-
one thing, but I think she's talking about something else.
You
The
say-
difficulty that I have with it is that,
no,
The
just
people
S
I-
for the project.
yes,
I'm not talking about S. See, I'll talk about S differently. This is separate.
I know, but, well, all right.
Go
I'll say
on
my
and say
comment.
what the rest
Go ahead
of
and
that.
say that.
Okay, well, the difficulty that I have with it, because I have a twin brother that has been through the process, and a lot of people that I've worked with, but I feel that I've come, that there are ways, other ways in life you can do it, and that you can share the same kinds of experience without having that particular period in time that you've spent in that process.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
And that
I
people
don't,
are offended if you're not involved in it.
No, they're not.
I don't,
Offended's not the right word.
I don't feel negatively toward the fact that I spent a weekend or 2 weekends or whatever it was toward doing it. That was fine, and I've advocated it for many other people, and that's fine. But I still don't see why I
Well-
should get into something that's so artificial. It is so artificial, the way they handle their verbalization.
Well, that's what.
That it comes, yeah.
It's imposed. The verbiage is imposed.
It's imposed, that's right,
There-
it's imposed, and it's not common ordinary usage, and it's not usage for the ordinary man.
So why? Then the question. See that. I want to tell you what my position is I'm as willing to have everybody on the planet take the training as I am to have everybody on the planet get raw.
I'm not particularly willing to have everybody on the planet get Rolf. I think there are a great many people who are just as well off on Rolf. Let them have shorter lives. Let them get off the planet. It's okay with me. It's fine with me. It's fine with me. I am interested in a small elite of people who have spent a lot of time and a lot of energy trying to better themselves on the planet.
What I'm curious about is what good will that do? What good will it do to have a small elite group?
Because they are the ones who go on and who have done everything that amounts to progress in terms of knowledge, in terms of philosophy, in terms of anything you please call it. It's always the small elite group. It's not this klutz that lives out here on the streets.
How do you... I really do want to continue this conversation and get through it, see, because there's a lesson there as valuable for me as anything else, okay? And so the question immediately what comes up for me is in
I am not a Democrat.
I know you're not.
I do not believe in democracy. I believe in elitist operation. Elite being not the guy that has the money necessarily, but the guy that has the know-how, the guy that is willing to put his time in bettering himself and his community and the information. That kind of guy.
Well, who is it that makes the judgment about who's that guy?
What he has done makes the judgment, not I.
People, Hitler had some agreement too for a while.
Well, okay. But it ran out on him.
Well, that's true. But it ran out on a lot of other people. He ran it out on a lot of other people before he ran it out on himself.
Okay.
So
this is part of living.
Hitler would have been one of those elite people to be wrong.
Not to me.
Okay. Now,
No, I think you're moving on a different plane.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm curious about. I'm talking about a Hitler before he became a Hitler. Suppose that
he never was a Hitler before he became a Hitler. He was Hitler before he had the opportunity to be a nuisance. That's all he was.
He was Hitler before he got an opportunity to express it.
To express his nuisance value.
Okay. Now, see, I've had some people that want to get Rolf that could strike me as being like that. Not in the same way, but nuisance. Like I can't see what the hell I'm Rolfing them for other than to make money. Or to give them some relief for the pain they've got.
Yeah, I can. Or to put them on a slightly higher level. They'll never be on a top level, but they can be on a higher level where they have less of a nuisance value to their immediate neighbors.
Okay, so out of that position, see, I'm willing to Rolf. I'm willing to have anybody on the planet be Rolf.
But you're not willing to Rolf them. I heard you say that.
Well, I'm not necessarily willing to Rolf them, but I'm
willing to Rolf them.
Okay,
that's the difference.
Maybe I'll get to that one. The question I have though comes down to understanding your position, which is that what you're interested in doing is creating a small elite group.
Not a small elite group, a large elite
group,
but not a democratic elite group. Those elitists have to prove their qualifications by performance.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Wastrels don't belong in that elite group.
What doesn't?
Wastrels, people that waste the energy of the planet. I'm not talking about electricity.
But you're willing to Rolf those people.
No.
I'm willing to Rolf anybody. I think
that's
I
what,
have
well,
to.
See, well, that's
I
what
think
I'm saying.
I have to if I'm going to be the transmitter of Rolfing.
Okay. Well, see, if I'm going to be the transmitter of Rolfing, whatever that is, and for me it's a process of transformation. that
Well, it depends. There are certain things that you can't transform, and there are other things that you can transform widely. This is true of other things in people.
But you can't impose transformation on someone.
Well,
you can, but it does.
well,
it's just,
you know,
that doesn't
what,
seem right.
what I'm
To me.
see what we, and I'm just arguing this for the sake of arguing.
I
Now,
know,
taking
I
the-
know, and I have trouble with
Well, I
that.
want to,
People do that.
well, there is
I
something
just-
on the other side of that for me. Okay, there is something on the other side of that for me, and that is that if what's the difference between imposing Rolfing on a body and imposing the training on a body?
Exactly, I wouldn't do either.
Well, see, I don't impose.
Why impose any either?
Well, that's what I'm at. See,
We're not advocating any imposition of it. I'm
right.
not advocating.
Well, Esther isn't advocating any imposition of it on people either. You understand that? That people, they only want people in the training that want to take the training.
Of course.
So they
I
don't
have to smile
impose.
because when you talk, I see my brother, and it's very funny.
Great. So
Is he
there's-
actually?
Ah, thank you, Adrian.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So I want to know what the
Do you have
difference
any
is.
more of that cake around?
So I want to know what the difference is. You know,
The difference
why is it all right
is-
to have Rolfing, you know, but not S?
Well, I told you, it's not my, it's also not my position to roll anybody. I don't do that.
What do you do?
I choose the people I roll.
Okay.
You know, because they have to show to me that they want that transformation. I won't just take anybody that doesn't know what they're getting.
How do you choose them?
Through talking with them,
So you select people out.
very carefully.
Can I have another piece of that?
Of the gingerbread?
Yeah.
Can I tell you what I see as an
Okay.
objective
Okay.
And
outside?
then I
Okay.
can best utilize
Right.
my energy in a forward direction and
Okay.
not push, let some of it go.
All right. I don't know that I buy that one, but go ahead, Bob.
From what you just said, I see you, Bob, believing in democracy, yet not willing to participate in communicating to the average man or to whomever, to someone, no matter where he is on the scale of evolution or whatever, what you have.
Well, that's
Well,
not true.
Ida,
Well, that's not true. See, that is absolutely not true. And if you look at my practice, you'll notice that that's not true.
and yet you just said that you didn't
Well,
want to have to
the-
roll all of the wastrels on the planet.
No, I didn't say that. See, I said that I was out of the devil's advocate position. See, there are only 3 people so far that I've not selected to roll. Okay? One guy, because I just felt that all he would end up doing is, first of all, he couldn't experience what I was doing, and whether I wasn't going to roll him, it's just I wouldn't do it now. You know? One person I didn't feel comfortable about my ability to get him to experience the emotional stuff that went on. And I didn't feel safe walking him, bringing that stuff up. I didn't feel good about my ability to handle it with him. So I didn't finish his walking. One guy, because he
But you
didn't
didn't finish,
experience
that's a different thing.
Oh,
You
yeah.
started him?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's different.
I've started there is no one that I've ever turned away from coming here. There are some people I've not completed, but there's no one that I never finished, that I didn't start. And I'll roll anybody. And I do.
That's
And I
what
won't
I
let,
said before.
and I
I
won't,
know he's changing his position.
and I don't let time or money get in the way.
Okay, well, the other half of that difference then that I'm seeing is still that you're talking about a democracy, while I was talking about, I don't think that she's advocating that there should be an elite who rules the world. I think she's simply acknowledging that there are always a group of people who are influential in progress.
Well, see, I don't have any problem aligning myself with her position.
The only thing he has a problem with is agreeing with her.
Sometimes, right. Now, the question I have is, how does all this relate to people taking the training?
It doesn't relate.
No.
We don't know who takes the training.
Well, that's what Catherine started out. What was your original position?
God, we're.
It was about imposing patterns. That S was superficial,
Oh,
and that
well, you
imposed
came
a
from the
pattern,
position.
and that wasn't all right. That it was artificial.
Well, it wasn't all right with me to roll for everybody, so it wasn't all right for me for everybody to take it.
Well,
And
oh,
still
okay.
in that
So,
role.
yes.
Well, yeah.
It's all right with me.
Coalition, no matter what you do.
Hey, the training is so all right with me that it's all right for people to
Take
take
the
it.
rest of the tape out of that pen and let me take the pen.
Okay.
Did you hear that one? My position with the training, my experience of it, actually, it's not my position with it. And it's really out of my experience of sitting there for 2 weekends and what I got out of sitting in a room for 2 weekends. And if I could get the same thing by sitting in this room for 2 weekends, for 60 hours, I would do that. Okay? And it just so happens that it doesn't work that way. So that's where you have to go to sit in a room for 60 hours to get, when you want to know what a...
You can't tell. Now, one was sat in a room for 60 hours and it didn't work and nobody told him. Perhaps.
Yes.
Where did it start?
Well, where did Rolf start?
In my head.
Yes, well,
Thank you. I'm just saying there are different ways to get to the same, possibly the same place.
I don't think so.
With a different vocabulary, right?
I've done a lot of those other things, and I know that I never got here.
Well, I am already assisting.
But that doesn't
And
mean
here
someone
being-
else can.
Well,
I will not
Well,
be able to assist that.
I haven't seen,
I'm supervising the training.
here isn't,
You can jump the fence again. You
well,
love to fight.
here isn't, here,
Just keep jumping the fence,
I know.
doesn't matter which side, what fight.
here isn't a better place than where you're at, and here isn't where I want you to be.
You know, Bob, what I think you need to take that Rolf ego deflation course.
Which one's that? I thought I'd been taking it for the last 3 years. See, it's your fault. You're the one that enrolled me in the training. If you'd known this 3 years ago, you would have just sent me out in the world and let me work.
No, she would have sent you away completely.
Yes, no, you had to have me transformed.
I sent you to the bank.
I wasn't going. You sat right looking me straight in the eye and said, I had my truck, it was after my practitioner training in LA, And you know how most people pass their practitioner training and just go right on? I got to be the dubious person that didn't get to do it that way. And I was in Santa Monica, it spent all my money, I was a couple $1,000s in debt, relatively desperate.
Here's your pen.
And here it was, the end of the class. I'd given up my apartment, packed my truck, and here I was. I'm in the selection committee, and I don't know, it was Joe Helen, Ida, and Sean Lodge, and Jan Sultan, and a couple other creeps. And they gave me this hard time, this incredibly hard time. I never could figure out why the class didn't work for me. It was the most horrible class I'd ever been in. I almost punched Jim Asher in the mouth a number of times. He used to go cry to Ida every night, I think, oh, no, I can't stand him. What am I going to do with this fellow? Ida would probably say, well, just do the best you can or something like that. Jim would come back and cry again the next morning. And what it was is I had an agreement, first of all, to do the training before I ever got to the class. I had an agreement to pay the institute a certain amount of money. I had an agreement to have my massage license, none of which that I'd done. And I had great excuses. See, I didn't know what agreements were at that time. I really made agreements without ever knowing what an agreement was.
You see, this is what
But you can't say you're going to do something and not
drives
do
me
it. That's
mad.
just
I
common
can't
sense.
believe that people don't get to adulthood without knowing what an agreement is. I can't believe it.
Well, it's true, I did.
Never
So the
happened
class
to
didn't
me.
work for me.